Well, hello, boys and girls. Hello, cream stuffers. A wizard goes by many names. So this would be the 100th monkey. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So many theories running around. But the one thing that no one can any longer deny is that, yeah, they're satanic pedophiles. And I should have got something to drink. I need something to drink. Okay. But it is. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Just talking to a woman. This is probably the warmest winter ever. And if you look at the maps, we're all blue and purple and so forth. Like it's cold here. It is not cold here at all. It's warm, and I just got done sun gazing. I recommend sun gazing, but don't go sun gazing early or anything. You'll go blind. I'm special. Because I can sun gaze. I started sun gazing today. It is now 5:17. I am done sun gazing. I sun gaze for about an hour from 3:45 to 4:45, and tomorrow will be later than that because when I first set it out, that was pretty bright. That was a little too bright. And there's probably some UV in there. But see, blue blockers, because the UV that does the damage is the blue ones. But anyway, it's a lovely and wonderful day in the neighborhood. Let's do the thing. Yeah. Take a. I'll go. So look at this. I got bags under my eyes. I'm missing teeth now. I got marionette lines. But you know what? So do a lot of 40-year-olds because they did the dumb thing. Anyway, this is actually too much right now. It's the middle of February. It's not even. It's the beginning of February. And actually, it'll be fine because it's like 70s in the house. It's amusing that the house, the way they build these things, they're warmer in the winter time. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's cooler in the house and it's warmer outside. That's how well insulated it is. But it's only 70s. I mean, it's like what, 75 degrees. Okay, for me, that's a little chilly. That's a little chilly. So just a little chilly. Even in this summertime, we only set it to 80. We never set it into the 70s. That's because we Hawaii people. So Hawaii people, we don't like that warm, or excuse me, that cold weather. And 70s is cold to us, and 60s is like that's ridiculous. Anyway, I've had this for a little while, just for fun. This person no longer exists. But see, here's the thing. This idea is incorrect because what it says is that Ben H. Rogers, and there's even a period there because this is that's the correct spelling of Ben H. Rogers. Ben H. Rogers was not born on this date. He was born later. I was born first, and I'm no immigrant to this country. I was born here. I'm a non-immigrant. But you can see that this thing was issued in 89. So even certification date. And see, there is a record of me with these guys. None of that address is correct, but the idea is that you can go there and they have records. And the number of those, so this is bona fide, but this thing needs to be corrected. And I never corrected it because they conflated my birth date with that name. Oh, so what I had to do is let them know that, oh, no. I'm the originator. I'm the grantor and the beneficiary of that name and all the derivatives and so forth and all the proceeds and funds and so on. I have to inform them of that because otherwise they're going to assume, they're going to presume that I am the same as that thing, because what the thing's wrong. So guess what? You're a consumer, and even if you're not a consumer, they have lots of laws. But you're a consumer, but they have lots of laws, statutes that say they have to keep correct records. What would those be? I think that would be 15 USC, 5 USC. It's all over the place. They're supposed to keep correct records. Well, that birth date and that name, that's the wrong birth date for that name. That's my birth date. See, and then I find out, oh, that all caps name. See, to the straw man. All right, so the vulgar, the slaves, we call that a straw man. Don't call it a straw man in your paperwork. It is a in leges. Ooh, that's Latin. That's a dead language. It's the language of the dead. Uh, okay, so I'll tell you what. How about juristic entity? Ooh, how about living individual? Because Crouton Ramon is a living individual. So is Ben H. Rogers. And then they conflate that with this picture. Oh, look. Oh, the sweater is the same. Right. I went issue this in 89. That's how long I had this sweater. I'm a guy. We don't throw away our clothes. And it does. Is this out of style? Was it ever in style? Anyway, the idea being is, yeah, 89. How long ago was that? Bro, most guys I run into, they're not even born yet. And I was already certified. And I had the next one up. Or well, I don't think I actually got the card because I was close but no cigar, and I never went back and finished. But I had there's a open water at the time. There was open water diver, and see, this is gold, not silver, and so that was a thing. And then the other thing was there was a advanced open water diver, and I totally what you qualified, but for that, but they didn't make a new card because you already got this card, good enough. And then when you put it in, you put the thing in, it would say, yeah, I'm an advanced open water diver. But I didn't get to the wreck diving, even though I have wreck dive. Had lots of fun stuff. See, I'm talking about all this fun stuff because pretty horrifying, huh? People can't believe. But did we tell you, like for years, like 10 years after WikiLeaks? I see a lot of stuff I don't like to talk about because it's so disgusting. And how many times have I told you? And see, and if you go here on this channel, go click the thing and go to back and go look at some of them and understand how many of my videos have been removed. And now I'm tombstoned. They will never let this channel grow, ever. There are many others like me that got kicked off and now they're let back on, but they're never going to get any views. Okay, but there's no censorship. All right, but we now find out, bruh, 600 million guns, still nobody know what to do. What should we do? It turns out they're all pedophiles. Yeah. Yeah. We've been saying that, like, and not all of them, but too many of them. All over the place. They're compromised all in the judiciary and police forces in all over the place. They're compromised in at the state level, at the county level, at the federal level. Yeah, there's a lot of pedophiles in banking, in Silicon Valley, in name it. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Oh no, it's a satanic panic. And they say, don't go away with that. Of course, they're going to tell you that there's no Satanists. And that's ridiculous. But they're right out in front of you now. There's no denying it. And now you have paperwork that says the same. And you find out, oh, bro, these guys, they're not just pedophiles, they're pedivores. Oh, cuz. Sick. So I've been amusing myself with entertaining stupid stuff and then writing letters to people who need to be written letters to. Just informing them of the fact that, yeah, the fraud, I'm hep to the fraud. And so is everybody else. The fraud where you try to conflate my birth dates and where you try to say that I'm the same as that thing and where you try to say that I don't know where I am and so on. And who was it? It was I don't want to get the wrong one in trouble. It wasn't Grok. It was oh crap, what's the name of it? It's I have so many things on my mind. Claude is the name of it. Claude used to try to. Claude doesn't lie to me anymore. But he used to try to say, "Oh, there's no such thing as a 5-star passport." Hey, Claude, can you give me a definition of sovereign citizen? Oh, wait a minute. There's no statutory definition for that term. So how are they accusing you of it? Thank you, Brendan Joe Williams, for that angle. There's more to it than that. And there's libel and slander. Ooh, I have a fun time coming up with Facebook where currently, in the amount of time, $100 a minute is what I offered them if they'd refused to remove the libel that's on their website after they had censored me and banned me for telling the truth. And then this person, who's made up, the handle's made up, making claims like I would make inappropriate comments to her daughter. There is no daughter because the handle is completely made up. And you can look at the picture. It's clear that she wouldn't have a 15-year-old daughter. She just stole an identity, or somebody stole an identity. Could be a him, could be a her. You don't know. And wrote a whole bunch of bullshit. Okay. It's provably false. So remove it. Nope, they didn't remove it. And I made them 3 times. I responded rapidly, gave them 10 days, and nope. Okay. So starting on January 16th at midnight, the clock starts ticking for every minute it's up there. And I just haven't gotten around to sending the paper. I have the paperwork written out now. It's a cease and desist, and they've already received it. I'm just going to send it to them using, oops, where is it? Red letters. Do I have it here? Nope. It's in my briefcase, which is over there buried. But anyway, the registered mail. So they're going to get a couple of red letters from me. And it's just going to be 3-step process, which you should know by like Mansa says, the back of your hand. And beware, beware. There are Judas goats everywhere. And the Judas goats, a lot of them, if you know your stuff, they let you know in no uncertain terms that if you know, like HDR 192, I'll give you that one. HDR 192, don't put that in your paperwork. That tells them that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. The spirit of it, anyway, it was repealed, and then you've got the public law, which you should know, something 710, something 7110. Okay, and then but that's not the thing. The statute is, take a look at the obligations of the United States at 18 U.S.C. 8. Okay, and then the idea is you need to understand the difference between the living man on the private side and the public side. But the problem, and I'm going to let this go, and people won't believe you, just like they didn't believe you when it came to, you know why? I hate to say it out loud, but just so you know how disgusting, really, you think that people this disgusting wouldn't just steal silver? They wouldn't just steal it straight up. We're watching them steal silver right now at a ridiculous price. Got to talk about that. We'll get to that because I've been watching the prices, and they should be the same, and they're not. It's like, oh, it's 100 over here, it's 85 over here, it's 91 over there, it's 104 over here. They're paying in some places over there 101 for it, which is like $13 above our spot. And at one point it was like $30 above spot. And then, now I got to talk about that. And I go, okay, wait, one thing at a time. I've interrupted myself yet again. Okay, and again, watch at 2 times speed. And when you watch this thing, please hit the like button at least. Maybe 1 or 2 more people will see it. But the idea is that you got to rebut the presumptions and tell them that you understand the fraud and that you are at the same time at peace, non-combatant, so forth. But that doesn't mean you're right, but you're non-combatant, non-enemy, right? You're at peace with the United States. Okay, and then you're looking at what do you want? A22B is what you want. A22B of what? Which 1101, which is part of chapter 12. What chapter? Chapter 12 of, right? Okay, there's 12 chapter. Actually, I think it's chapter 13. No, it's chapter 12. But it's section 1101 A22B. Okay, that's that part of it. And actually, by now, if you put that in, that'll be enough. But directed discovery, you should know this. What USC is that? What number? Okay. And you should know because there's 50 codes and you should have a pretty good idea of what each one of those codes has to do with. Nope, we didn't. We were never taught that in slave school. I had to teach this, and by then it's too late. You could teach it to little kids, because that's when they're a sponge. And you're like, oh, 4 is flag law. Oh, 5 is administrative process. Oh, 26 is not positive law, and that's the the IRS code. Oh, 27 CFR. All those we should know them, or at least be familiar. But no, and we probably should have read some of the stuff that's in there. Like I didn't realize I've been fooling around. There's like a whole 12 chapters that I've never read. Or I may have read parts of them, but I haven't read them from okay, because all I know is that one part about the citizenship. Oh, I should probably know more than that. Okay, takes time to read. How to do this. Lovely. Okay, I have no language for what happens to me when I sun gaze for an hour. Okay, but I do sun gaze for an hour, and I use. I'm an advanced sun gazer. Blackout mask. Oh, that was fun. Okay, so while I'm sun gazing, there's a little boy, and he has the most infectious laugh. You cannot, I'm in a happy mood, even though this is some dark times. So get out from in front of your computer and get around little children. I was just sitting at the pool. They were playing. Okay, so they were running around playing, and he's like, "Put away your phones. Let's do something. Let's play." And he's the littlest one out of all of them. And he does. He just has this crazy infectious laugh. So he totally turned into the. Wait, before that, the are going the rest of them. There's a little crowd of them. There's like 6 of them running around the apartment complex. And okay. And so see more story. Running around the apartment complex playing, and poor kids. I feel bad for them. There's no park nearby. They have to play around the apartment complex. It does not bother me at all. But we've got some old fogies here that they don't like the sound of children running around and riding their skateboards and scooters and stuff. But it doesn't bother me at all, and I like it. The laughter and cries of small children, right? All the cakey. But the idea is, so they're going off into the parking lot or something. I don't know, because I'm sitting in the pool and the pool's got a fence around it and I can't see. But I can hear him clearly, and he says, guys, I'm not allowed. And one of the girls says, we won't tell. And he's like, but I'll know. Okay. His mommy raising him right. And then a little more of the conversation is okay, because it's not out of respect for his mom, because his mom told him not to. It's because out of respect for himself, because he told his mother that he wouldn't. Rah. My heart, warm when I felt that. I'm sitting there sun gazing, listening to this. Right? Okay, now later on, they're playing. Okay, and they're not doing nothing. And they're everybody and their brother in Phoenix owns a dog. In this apartment complex, more than half the people here have a dog. We have a cat. See, because this place is pet friendly. Like you can go anywhere to Maui. You can go one place if you have a dog. These people got pit bulls. They got any kind of name the dog. They got dogs. They got dachshunds. They got chihuahuas. They got name it. They got every kind of dog. They got every big ones, small ones. They're hilarious, and they take them for walks. Anyway, so the kids are sitting on the stairs, and all of a sudden, all the fucking dogs in the whole complex go off. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. Right? And the kids didn't do nothing. The kids never do nothing. But all the dogs at once start barking. So door opens. You can hear the door open. And mom says, "Are you guys causing trouble? What are you guys doing?" And they're like, "We didn't do anything." And like, "Yeah, right. Why are the dogs barking then?" And they're like, "We don't know." And then I butted in, right? She couldn't even see me. We can't see each other. It's the way it is because I'm in the pool, and she's upstairs at the other end of the building, and she's yelling at the kids because she's sure that they've done something to set the dogs off. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, when they're running around playing, the dogs don't bark because apparently the dogs have a better threat assessment ability than freaking ice does. Because when the kids are running around right outside the doors, they don't bark because they know it's kids playing. That's no threat. Okay, but all of a sudden, boom, I mean, and they were barking like crazy. Like one went off, and then all of them, like all around me, the dogs are going off. And they did it for a little bit, and then they calmed down. Don't know. But they clearly heard something that we didn't hear. So anyway, I yelled back at the mom, honestly, they didn't do anything. She goes, okay. And you can hear the door close. And yeah, what the hell was that? I don't know. It's experiences sun gazing on this day where the spot price is completely fractured and broken. Oh my God. It's nuts what's happened. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about that. But when it comes to sun gazing, you'll go blind. So don't go sun gazing. It won't make it so that you can read stuff. Oh, and then one of the little girls. Oh, yes. And then I got a box of Thin Mints on order. And then I got one of these for me and one for Pookie, so we don't have to fight at all about who had more. It's supposed to be one side, but it never works out that way because these are freaking delicious. I can read that fine print. Okay. There was a time when there's no way. And just for fun, and look at me. I don't look 42. I don't look 40. Look at his wrinkles. Look at his bags. See, because I know what I looked like when I was a young man, and I didn't look like this. But guys are guessing. Okay, so I play the game once in a while. Why? But positive reinforcement for my subconscious mind is one of the things. Because I plan to be here for a while because I got grandkids and they're not even born yet. And oh my God. Anyway, so the idea is that occasionally, just for fun, and again, I come from the generation, can put color in your hair. We don't get to do that. The Mahoos could do that. And I'm going to talk about that too. Because I saw a thing that said, I'm gay. Not, what is it? Fuck the Democrats. I'm gay, not retarded. I'm going to talk about that. Because I had a lot of gay friends and I'm not gay. Because coming from Hawaii, some guys is Mahoo. And bro, from Hawaii school, I known this guy since little kid time. We know they wasn't like us. I'm not gonna name names. And it's the only guy who survived because of the freaking AIDS scare. But my point was gonna be, before I got off on that tangent, that I was asking the pharmacists at Costco, how old do you think I am? I just want to play a game just for fun. How old do you think I am? You guys like deal with people and so forth. And they look at me and the one guy goes, I don't know, 40. And then the other guy goes 42. And then this guy comes like in the back there and he looks and he goes 58. And I was like, see that guy? And they're like, nah, I'm going to go with like 45. Okay. And then there was this black woman and her little child. And I said, you can play if you want to. And she's like, no, I don't want to play. Okay. But everybody 40s, nobody, one guy 50s. Nobody says 62. I don't think it's because I look so good. I think it's because these people are aging. Although my one son said, you've basically been mid-40s my whole life. But anyway, the point is, whatever they tell you, do the opposite. Because now you guys starting to realize that this fuckers, yeah, what we've been telling you is true. And yeah, all the institutions. That's why we were in slave school, and all the stuff that I'm trying to tell you, we didn't learn. You were supposed to learn that between, say, 16, maybe 14, 15, 16, and 15. And a lot of stuff you could have memorized when you were little, but we didn't learn it. We don't even know where to sign our names. We don't even know how to sign by for. Nothing. We never learned nothing. Oh, wait, I got to give you this one thing. If I have it here. Do I have one here? I do not have one here. Nope. Oh, and here's the thing. Judas Goat's talking about flag law. Go read Title 4 for yourself. And then figure out your micronation stuff and all that stuff. But when they start telling you that it's flag law isn't a thing, I have an issue. Right there. Okay, yeah, here's all the stuff, but I can't find it. I'm not ready. But anyway, do I have a piece of... I don't have... Okay. It has to do with where you put your little stamps because you're your own postmaster, but it's a scroll. So you don't, okay, I can do it with this. How's that? All right. The way we were taught is if you have one sheet of paper, the backside, you just flip over the sheet of paper and there it is. No, supposed to be a legal size piece of paper, first off. And you do this. You don't do this, you do this. So now the stamp ends up down here. Oh, where's my finger? That's right. Oh, because they got this whole crazy Babylonian money magic nonsense. And see, part of their money magic nonsense is, I know this has crack in it because as I was walking away, every one of those kids, because I walked over to the little girl who is the Girl Scout, uh, and I didn't even say anything. I just tapped her on the shoulder and I showed her that I had bought some Girl Scout cookies from her because I told her I would. And this is the other thing, guys. If they're selling Girl Scout cookies, I would never eat this. This has crack in it. It tells you right on there, natural flavors. Yeah, that's crack. That's a flavor enhancer, guarantee it. But as I was walking away, every one of those, those are the good ones. Those are really delicious. You're gonna love those, right? Those are, yeah, because yeah, I know. And the thin mints also. Okay, now this is actually cool because it's true. Although my grandmother said, "Don't be a joiner," and if you look on this, it says, "Girls join," but I'm not a joiner, and so I never was a Boy Scout. However, I did spend some time, and I had a couple friends that were Boy Scouts, and they'd come back and show me how to tie knots and stuff. But see, it says STEM, and the idea that they get you outdoors, and then they give you life skills and some entrepreneurship. It's true. Even just this little project. This is like a homeschool project right here. Right? Okay. I guarantee you, in your own neighborhood, I give you an idea. Find some potatoes, and if you guys can grow potatoes, you can grow potatoes. Like we did a little experiment up in Idaho. We planted some potatoes in the glacier melt in that fine gray. We couldn't grow enough. Right? I mean, I couldn't grow enough. We couldn't use all the potatoes that we had. We had so much potatoes. We didn't plant. We didn't think we planted that much. Okay, so then you take those potatoes and you fry them in beef tallow. Boom, instant sales, guaranteed. Put them in packages. Okay, so what are they doing with this Girl Scout cookie thing? And I like it because it's true. If you read this, it gives them real life skills, right? Goal setting. How many cookies are you going to sell? Okay. What's your goal, right? And then of course they have prizes and all kind of stuff, right? For who sells the most cookies and so on. I love the fact that it says on here in the very fine print, not for resale because there's a black market for Girl Scout cookies. You're gonna tell me there's not a market for flesh, but there's a black market for Girl Scout cookies where they buy them for $6 or whatever from the guy, and then they sell them for more than that. I don't know how they do it, but apparently there's a black market in it. And you're silly if you think there's not. That's ridiculous. I don't know who the hell is buying these by the case and then reselling them, but okay, they're not for resale, and it says it right on the package. Okay, the other thing it says on here in very fine print, though. Notice how small that print is. And bro, I can't read them. I can't read them with my 62-year-old eyes. And before time, no good. So what's the difference? Oh, because I've been doing some things that I read in a Vedic yoga manual. And guess what? Turns out sun gazing is an ancient practice and art and well known for like curbing appetites and fixing your internal organs. And I can't tell you what goes on because they gave us a language that does not allow me to elucidate the experiences that I have while I'm sun gazing for an hour. Occasionally I bring small stuff back, like nothing's happening for the first time. This is a mathematical simulation. It's not, but it is. It's described mathematically. Okay. Even if you figure out that it is a simulation, you got to play like it's not a simulation or it's no fun, first off. And second off, that doesn't mean, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter. And how you deport yourself in this part of the simulation absolutely tells you how you're going to do in the next part of the simulation. That's why there's other guys, they plan 7 generations. Right? In those files, we find out, bro, that little baby, he's the fucking mayor of New York now. That's a made man, of course. He's in the club. Bro, it's a Caligula class. They never went away. I told you this from how long already? This crowd, I'm preaching to the choir. Nobody should be surprised by the fact that these guys do what they do. And guess I'm not even going to go there. Okay, but especially the Boy Scouts. Oh my God. All right, so everything's been infiltrated. But the idea is, yeah, goal setting, right? How are you gonna, and then what? Make a plan, right? And then you got to have some people skills if you're going to sell this. Okay, and then and say, bro, I'm reading these with sunglasses inside a house. If I take them off, super easy, right? Decision making, right? Business ethics, being honest, and so we're going to talk about that ethics, and then money management. You got to be able to manage the money. But just from this little project of selling Girl Scout cookies, yeah, teach them entrepreneurial skills, teach them life skills. But why you want to teach them life skills? I hate to sound like a chauvinist, but perhaps a man should help take care of a lot of that. But don't you want a woman that can do the books? Don't you want a woman that can handle herself and has some skills and self-esteem? Yeah, Girl Scouts provide that. But this might be training. Who set up our education system, by the way? Oh, yeah. You figured out that satanic pedophiles. They left out all the stuff. They didn't tell you about all the fraud. They didn't tell you about any of the system bonding. They didn't tell you about QSIP numbers. They didn't tell you how to sign your name. They didn't tell you how the documents work. They didn't tell you how to be your own postmaster. They didn't tell you anything. Know that everybody's incorporated. Everybody incorporated. In the state of Hawaii, it's right there on the thing, incorporated 1959. They tell you, yes, it's an incorporation. Now, see what Bad Wolf and a couple others have said, and I got to strenuously warn you with Mansa and Bad Wolf, but Bad Wolf makes it totally obvious. You got to be a dumbass. But Mansa, he's a little more like, if you get greedy and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, there's traps there. And I get it. I totally get it. This isn't for everybody. And it's certainly not for the ones that want to try to get something for nothing. You got to understand who you are, where you are, what kind of claims. So see, Ben H. Rogers, that name is tainted. That's a slave name. They have claim to it. I have, my sons are name holders. I'm also a name holder. That's Minnesota. Minnesota. What's going on in Minnesota? Minnesota, what is that statute? What is it? 3333. Three threes. 333. They give you an out. Okay. I had it for a year and then I renewed it, and then I'm not doing any more paperwork. I'm not jumping through their hoops. That's not me. That's a different thing. That's how I do business. Now, see what Bad Wolf figured out, and what a lot of others have figured out, is, wait a minute, the whole thing's commerce. And so it's actually on the private, but the private is so big that it's the public. So then they try to confuse you. But no, on the private side, there's the living, and on the other side, there's the enlegius. There's the straw man. That's vulgar. Don't use that. There's the juristic entity. There's the sole proprietorship. It's on their forms. Okay, and there's guys like Brandon Joe Williams that explain it in vivid detail. Bad Wolf will explain 5-star passports to you, and that's step one. That's only step one. That's only just letting them know that you're non-immigrant and that you know what to say on the statement of additional information. And so you can take it next level with organizations and so forth. And my sons, and I'm not going to put this information out, but see, one of the things with a consumer, one of your rights is the right to information. So as my one boy said, he just pushed this woman on her training, asking her questions. See, it wasn't being belligerent, wasn't being a dick. It was just asking earnest questions that he wanted answers to. So he was with a specialist, and he got all kind of good information and found out the way they think and so forth, and the way they're trained. Okay, so the way they're trained is the way we have to respond to that training. Like, in other words, we got to do how they're trained to do the paperwork, because they're not going to do it some other way than they've been trained because you said so. For fuck's sake. Okay, so you can't have a social security number on there, and neither can your parents because that would make them U.S. And you don't want to be U.S. citizen. You're a national. You're a non-immigrant. You have to make them under because they're going to try and okay. One of the things I'll give you this: you can't just say GPO manual because section 522 to 526, where it talks about Illinoisans and Hawaii residents, not to be confused with residents of Hawaii, Hawaii residents, like the difference between county of Maui and Maui County, etc. But you're a Texan, you're a Californian, okay. It's in their styles manual. But when he said the GPO styles manual, she said, I don't know what that is. So he stopped and he said, the government publishing offices styles manual that all of you have to adhere to. Oh, okay. Section 522 to, okay, right? And 523 is actually the one you want, where it actually lists all 50 of them. Okay, so you need to be aware. You need to have read the thing. And don't just read that one page. Don't just read 522. Read the whole fucking thing, which will take some time. You're supposed to be informed, right? I'm starting a Methodist church. You must be able to sungaze. You must be informed. You must have read stuff. You have to be, either doing a 5-star passport or doing an alternative to a 5-star passport, doing your whole, nation thing. However you want to do it. It's like playing D&D. No dungeon master runs it the same way. And we found out that not every method works for everybody. Found this out on Maui. There's now a woman that has a bench warrant out because they did not recognize her 3-day rate of rescission, and they hold a trial without her, and then there's a bench warrant for her arrest. Whereas I know several people, but here's the difference. She went and signed her name to the fact that she was a U.S. citizen after. So they're like, okay, you're in our jurisdiction. And that 3-day right of rescission does not apply to U.S. citizens if we say it doesn't. Okay, so standing and status. You got to know the difference. Standing, where are you standing? Literally, where are you standing? I'm standing in Arizona State. I am not standing in state of Arizona. I am not standing in county of Maricopa. I am standing in Maricopa County. Over that, they overlaid this whole zip code system. But I'm in the USA, United States of America. That zip code system is the US. Oh, there's a difference. Which brings us to the Judas, Goats, and Flag Law. Go read. Anybody that tells you don't read the flag law, and they're absolutely, I will not argue this point, and they're absolutely correct. You go running around with your own flag or some other flag or the peace flag or whatever. Yeah, they're going to put you on a list. You're already on a list, but they're going to definitely put, yeah. And right up until the time you sue them and you can tell them that, yeah, I got my 5-star passport and I have shown that I'm outside your jurisdiction and that that's your flag. We got this other flag. Okay. And I know, guys, that, yeah, this is not U.S. soil. This is USA soil. And then you got the whole thing with Ron Gibson. Oh, there's a whole other thing that you need to learn. Oh, yeah, we're tenants. Oh, yeah. Okay, you need to change that. And see, I would not buy land in Hawaii because you can't buy land in Hawaii because there's no conveyance since they did the overthrow. I don't want to get into that situation. Look like bad karma to me because easily I will tell you that, and see, this is the thing that's amusing about the silver thing. You don't understand the market. I had my first securities license in 1984. I think it was 63. I can't remember the 763, 6, 21. I was a principal. Anyway, I've studied the market. I used to be responsible for ongoing training and so on. And the whole reason why I got into the math was because most of the guys couldn't pass the math portion. They couldn't do the math. Anyhow, the idea is that, and if they couldn't do the math, I couldn't pay them. But the idea with that is that I might know a little bit about the market. I might have seen a few things before. So I look at XRP and I look at Bitcoin and I read the charts and I go with other guys that can read charts and do math, like Johnny Bravo and the Market Sniper and they all look at those charts and oh, what's that guy Danny? I can't remember Cosmo Play or whatever it is. Cosmo something or other. But that guy, he's excellent with charts. In fact, people, I mean, like renowned guests, not renowned, damn it, renowned. That word is renowned. Renowned guests that you know who I'm talking to. Because it's not renowned. God, that drives me crazy. Anyway, renowned guests that are like, complimenting him on, wow, those are good charts. That's a good chart. Could you leave that chart up? Right? Because the guy can chart. Anyway, if you can chart, you can see it's going south. Bitcoin is going south. Okay, silver is going north. Right now, they got this game on trying to pretend like they always have. They only have one. They're one-trick ponies. One trick is all that horse can do. They naked short. They throw billions of shares. They're making it worse. They're making it worse. They're not making it better. And they're bluffing. And China and India are calling the bluff. And so it's like Hong Kong. And so a lot of other markets, Mumbai, they don't want the paper that says, oh, yeah, I can have some at some future date. I want my silver now. Because there's rumors that, and it didn't last, but, a couple factories went idle because they didn't have the silver. Because it's the one component, they can't finish the product without that one, right? Just like we had guys that were trying to get chips for a little while there, and they couldn't get the chips. So they couldn't get the truck or the car or the RV or whatever it was because they needed that one chip. Okay, silver is just as precious as that. You got to have silver. Okay, so then I cannot confirm, by the way, these are rumors. But anyway, they got the silver and the production line started up again. But everybody is panicked because of this. Right? The Chinese understand. Okay, so right now we have been compromised and they're selling our fucking silver for no money. And hell, I'll do it. Buy it in the 80s or it's close to that, 90 something, and then ship 10 pounds over there for $50. I have contacts. A certain person I know, the husband works for JP Morgan in the Hong Kong office. He don't tell nothing though. He's very tight-lipped. He doesn't say a damn thing. We don't talk that kind of stuff. And it's clear that don't. Okay, but anyway, the idea is that I get contacts in Hong Kong and they're telling me that no, it's not like United States. They can't believe me when I say that no, there's fucking plenty of silver here. What are you talking about? Fucking they're at the point where they don't even want to buy it. They got so damn much silver, they don't know what to do with it all. In some places, in other places, they got no silver at all. Or they're running low, or they'll get it to you in a couple weeks or whatever. But over there in Hong Kong, they're running low. And she knows because and they're from Singapore. And then them people know them people. And she knows a lot of people that are Indian because there's an Indian population in Singapore from India. They have little India in Singapore, like a little Chinatown and so on, Japanese town. But anyway, the idea is that she knows some of them people, and they're saying, yeah, in India, you can get jewelry. And then I'm not sure that that's still the case, but there was a little while there, no coins to this day, still no coins, no bars, no investment silver. You can get jewelry. And in some places, you can even get silver jewelry because there is no more nothing in India. Okay, China, apparently also almost no more nothing. So these guys are going around the markets and going directly to the miners. That has been confirmed numerous times now. I mean, and not just like Samsung, like everybody is trying to cut deals. So there's not going to be new mine supply. In fact, less is going to come from the mines now because it's going to be diverted directly. And that was one of the reasons for the geopolitics in Venezuela, because we're not letting all those resources go to Russia and China, oddly enough. You're not taking from go get it from Africa then. Hey, and then Venezuela, all that South America, there's plenty of silver down there and other rare earths and oil and all kind of stuff. There's all kind of natural, it's always about resources. who gets what. And they're brazen about it now. Yeah, we're going to basically just take their oil. Yep. They're not making excuses. They're just like, yeah, we're going to get like, I can't remember, 40%. What was the number? We're going to take some of their oil. But here's the one thing, and everybody, they're all so, oh man, all the oil companies are like, yeah, man, we're going to make money. But see, the idea is they're going to drop the price of oil. In my opinion, I know plenty of guys that think oil's going to be the next one to take off. I think they're going to push it down lower. How come? Because they got to fool the sheep into thinking that there's no inflation. Oh, the price is down at the gas pump. Everything must be fine. Bro, it used to be like, $4. Now the thing only $2.99. Except when you go into Costco. But I remember when these were $1, by the way. That's how old I am. And by the way, if it's a silver dime, this isn't even a silver dime. Even at today's ridiculous price. If you do it with the spot in Mumbai or India or Hong Kong or Shanghai, and then calculate the weight of a dime, this is a whole lot more. I mean, you get this and some change. And I'm trying to explain to people that what we have is, and see, they wouldn't take dimes. In fact, the guy, I was just teasing him, because this is the guy where he's blind, total liberal, living off the tit. I don't blame him. Gets as much as he can from the government programs because he got a daughter to raise and he is handicapped. And I do not believe, and see, that's the point. Yeah. Guys like, I got no problem taking care of guys like that. And he tries to work. He's done customer service in the passport office, so that led to some interesting conversations. But anyway, I put a $10 bill in his hand because he did some work for me. We had, private contract, handshake. Nobody signed nothing. You make some business cards for me and I'll give you $10. He made some business cards for me in Braille. They're cool as hell. And I gave him $10. But I also gave him the option, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 10 dimes. Back then, those dimes weren't even $3 at that time. And that wasn't that long ago. It's not like this is ancient history, though. Anyway, go look. It wasn't, I mean, just a little while ago it was $3. But anyway, I was saying, I'll give you these 10 dimes. Or you can have this $10 bill. He picked the $10 bill, of course. And now his 10 dimes is $60 if he were to go to a coin shop and exchange them. Except right now, I think the coin shops over here, they don't, I'm serious. They want buyers. They don't want sellers because they're like, I got too much, because when it was up over 100, most of the coin shops are like, nah, we're not doing this. Or we'll what do you call it? We'll give you whatever, because they knew never discount the bankers. Right? They had lulled us into a sense of security. And then on the last day of the month, when they had to make their books look good and they had to mark their shit to market, well, they don't want to mark their shorts to market at fucking $110, do they? They want to mark them to market at $70. And then they want to take some deliveries. And as many people have noticed, the shorts there's not less shorts. They're still short. And they're trading billions of ounces that don't exist. They don't exist anywhere except on paper. And nobody buying those kind. They want delivery kind. So a lot of people on the last day of the month took the kind that would deliver in 3 days. They would settle in 3 days. So when he's still 72-hour settlement, because that's UCC, that's Universal Commercial Code. People ask me, does that apply in China? Yes, it's the Universal Commercial Code. It's how we do business. So yes, if I were to take some silver from here and get it out, UCC applies. So if you know UCC, and current events look a little different to you, because while it's in my possession, I package it up, that's still my silver. But as soon as I hand it to the courier and we sign the contract that it's insured and blah, 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 and you're going to take it to this address and this amount of time and blah, 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 and you're not going to lose it, and you're not going to open it, you're going to hand it to the other person, they're going to sign for it for XYZ money. Okay, that's private contracting. But as soon as I put it in his hand, it's not my silver anymore. It's whoever bought it, silver. And the courier is the go-between. Okay, same thing in shipping and maritime. Bruh, as soon as that ship left the port, the cargo in that ship is no longer Venezuela's. is whoever bought that oil or whoever bought whatever cargo is on that ship. That's the law of the seas. That's maritime law. That applies. That applies. Period. In all situations. So yeah, taking one of their that's an act of war. That's not our oil. Those guys pay for the oil. That's piracy. Nobody gives a fuck. United States, man. That's not Americans. This wasn't American Navy. That's U.S. Navy. And they fly a very specific flag. Okay, and like I said, they 100% right. I've seen all this stuff, but every time it's a Judas goat. Every time they tell you, don't you use your own flag. Don't you use your own flag until you know what the fuck you're doing, for damn sure. And don't you fucking walk into a court with your own. Don't do that unless. But see, if I mean, here's what I know from just a little bit now of walking around in the world of 5-star passports. They're not even going to invite you into court. So you don't need to bring a flag because they're not even going to invite you. They tell their guys, leave these fuckers alone. That's what you want. So you need the 5-star, not the 4-star, not the 3-star, not some piece of paper you made up. And what you're getting them to do is acknowledge the fact that you aren't fooled. And you got to do it in a certain prescribed manner or they won't accept your paperwork because they have training. Okay, now I'm aware of the training because I sent an emissary to go just ask questions. You do not create controversy asking questions. And as a consumer, you have the right to know the truth. You have the right not to be lied to. You have the right to information that is correct. You have the right to have the information that they have on you to be correct. Okay, they don't have correct information because they've conflated the birth date of the living man and the birth date of the in legis, the all caps name. And you can't hear the difference between Ben Hosea and Ben Hosea. If one is in caps and one isn't, right? That's in them sodas. That's part of their fraud. And then they'll try to tell you it doesn't make a difference. On paper, it makes kind of a bit of a difference. And you can differentiate. So why not differentiate? Go above and beyond. Because they're right. It's just right. And there is, and if you try to look up the styles manual, the only place you're going to find that is in the Chicago Manual of Styles, which they should recognize, but they don't necessarily have to because it's private. So that's why people have figured out that, yeah, you got to define your terms and then don't use terms that are landmines. Apparently, they got a problem with American State National, even though that's pretty much what you are. You are an American. You are a state national. But apparently, they've got that conflated with sovereign citizen, which they haven't defined. So that turns into libel if you know what you're doing. Okay, and see, you got to make offers because they make you offers. The 3-step process, if you look at it that way commercially, is you making an offer with evidence. And that, but it's not really that. See, and that's the thing. Most of you were never trained to make an offer. You just made some statements and so forth, but you didn't offer them anything, and you didn't state any kind of claim that could be according to their own. And see, because even if you do, and this is the cool thing with Brandon Joe Williams, and like some of us have been around quite a bit longer, and I give that guy credit, Brock, because he has done quite a bit. But just understand, he makes no bones about the fact that him is what is he? Scientologist, high level Scientologist. And he was actually pissing me off a little bit, just a little bit, when he was trying to say, Masons, I don't know about the Masons. Yeah, yes, he does. And he was trying to say that, oh, they're not all Masons. Yes, they are. But he's correct. That doesn't matter. You can still bind them down with law. If you know the law. If you don't know the law, they're going to eat your lunch. And if you don't know what the words mean, they're definitely going to eat your lunch and they're going to laugh at you at the same time. This nigga don't even know his name, Balabet. And somebody want to buck on me. Because like I said, and don't fucking listen to everything I have to say. Do your own damn research because, bro, when it came to final exams, I failed, clearly. But it also boils down to the point where who's coming to save you? Nobody coming to save you. So, yeah, I'm not the only one. I mean, there's fucking treaties on it because so many people get arrested without warrant. or indictment or grand jury or any of that shit because it's private. They're giving you color of law. They're not giving you law. They're giving you statute. They even the jury trial and trial by jury. They try to tell you the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. They've perverted everything. And then you find out that, yeah, a lot of those guys, not all of them, not every fucking body, but too many, worship the elder gods because they serve the Caligula class and they know about the Caligula class and they don't say nothing. Okay, now you find out about the Caligula class and oh, okay, the Caligula class is the same class when set up the Department of Education. And see, I was okay. What in the actual what? So this is going to be the same stream, or is it going to be a new stream? I don't know what the fuck that was because I swear to you, before I did this, I closed a bunch of windows, I closed a bunch of stuff, made sure that I had a full charge, made sure that both ends are plugged in, made sure, and still, all of a sudden it died. I was just about to tell you a story, and then, the last thing I wrote down was Caligula class, and I don't remember what story I was going to tell you. That was the point of doing that. And then I had a choking fit. I drank tea and I swallowed the wrong way, and I was like choking to death. But you can't shut me up. I'm sorry. You cannot shut me up. I'm a little outside the matrix. And this is the thing. I will give you as much as I can that isn't private information because some of it, in fact, even though you think it should be public, is not. It's private. And so, in order to get private information, two barriers to entry. One barrier is vulgar language from, say, Brandon Joel Williams or myself and some others. The other is $1. All it takes is $1 a month. You guys won't pay it. So if you aren't willing to spend even $1 a month, then you can't have the information. And I think it's not even $1. It's like $2. With me, it's $1. There's all kind of stuff on my super duper super secret math page on Facebook. There's all kind of files and stuff that you can have access to for $1. But with Brandon Joe Williams, absolutely free. And with Bad Wolf, I think it's like $2.99 or $5, or I don't know what his thing is, but I mean, whatever, pay it. It's worth it. He's got good stuff there. And unlike some of the other Judas goats, he lets you know, right? He gives you the right, because there's stuff you can't talk about. So if you know if you've done your reading, it won't ensnare you because you know not to do that. Like I said, don't mention HJR 192. That's just one example. There's more. You can discharge, but you can't do future. If they tell you you can't, you can't. You can't do an annualized. No, no. You're gonna have to do it monthly. Okay, and then it's not the same with utility companies and say credit card companies. Simple. It's not same. Okay. The other part is, again, you have to notify them that you, in a certain manner, that you understand the fraud. And damn it, I was going to tell this story. But all right, a different story. I don't remember what it was. Honest to God, that was the point. They didn't want me. And I have to go back and watch the video, and hopefully it'll jog my memory, or maybe it'll come while I'm talking. But just the thing, because I was like, what the fuck? I turned into a brick. I got a black screen, and see, it's charging now. While I'm doing this, the charge is going up. So how did that just suddenly go to 0 and turn into a brick for a minute or two? Well, I was like, what happened? Okay, but here's something. Actually, a bunch of things. This is 2, and this is 2. The reason why I know this is 2 is because I have a point of reference, and I know that this is 1. So this is 1, this is 2. Can you see that? Is that too advanced for you? So this is 1, and this is 2. Then 2 and 2, how much is 2 and 2? Well, 2 and 2 is clearly 5. Oh, wait, no, it's not 5. You can see that 2 and 2 will never be 5. 2 and 2 is 4. 2 and 2 is the same thing as 4. Oh, look, there's even an equal sign there and everything. And we can clearly see that 4 is not the same as 5. 4 is, in fact, 1 less than 5. In fact, 4 and 1 is 5. But 2 and 2 is not 5. It's never 5. It'll never be 5, except on Friday. On Friday, 2 and 2, 10 sigma event. And see, I was always at 6 sigma, and after 6 sigma, you don't even have to do the calculations because it's impossible. It's impossible. And if it's impossible, it was impossible. It didn't happen. That didn't happen. Yes, it did. It happened because we all went through it and watched it in real time, some of us. And on that day, and see, there's one guy that did the calculation. He says it's 1 in 24 septillion chance. And that would be an event that would happen every once in 1 out of every 24 septillion years. 24 septillion. 24 septillion. That's 1 with 24. No, wait. With how many zeros? Okay, let's count how many zeros that is. Septillion. Okay, we'll do it this way. This is 3. 3 is, in fact, 1 more. Because I got guys telling me, oh, that was just a natural market reaction. I'm listening to the pundits tell me that, they can't go straight up. You're right, they can't go straight up, but that doesn't change the fact that was 100% fraud and that shouldn't have happened, and that other markets, when they drop 10% like that, there's going to be a halt. Usually, a lot of times, 5%, 15% for sure, 20%, nope. No halting. But anyway, you see this? 3 is, so I'm going to explain it so you can't miss. 3 is 1 more than 2. And you can see that 3 and 2 is, in fact, the same. See, but what they told you, and see, the equal sign never lies. Never lies. The equal sign is your best friend because he never lies. But apparently, once every 1 in 24 septillion years, the equal sign lies. And then it won't do it again for another 24 septillion years. That's let's see. So 3, right? That's if we're talking about place value. This would be hundreds, and then you need another one, and you're up to thousands because we have names for each one of the places. And I'm going to be going for a while here. So let's see. We're keeping track. 3 on our fingers and toes. 6, 9. What is that? Hundreds, thousands, millions. Okay, billions, trillions. We got a ways to go. We're gonna get to trillions, quadrillions, quintillions, septillions, or excuse me, sextillions, septillions. How many fingers I got there? I got 8. Oh no, I got 9. Isn't that 9? Yeah, it looks like 9 fingers to me. Let's make sure. Hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, sextillions, septillions. Okay, now I got it right. Okay, because it's 8. No, it was going to be too many because it's only 24. But the idea is each one of these is 3 zeros. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24 zeros behind that one. And it still shouldn't have happened. It's impossible. Like I said, I was always, when I was doing stats, once you get off past 6 standard, when you get to a 6 sigma event and that many standard deviations off the mean, it's just impossible. So they went 4 more sigmas, right? 7, right? 6 and 7. They're saying 8 sigma. Okay, so Friday ended with 8 sigma. Okay, so if you're having 6 and 7 and 8s like they're candy, maybe something's going on. Just saying. Perhaps, maybe there could be something happening. Okay, and then here's the other part of it. These guys really, so we're gonna make this partisan. We're not gonna. We're Biden. Well, first off, Biden being in there doesn't absolve Trump, and Trump being in there doesn't absolve Biden. Second off, this is okay. So some people are saying, "Oh, this isn't even the real documents," but they seem to confirm what WikiLeaks already did. And in 25 years, WikiLeaks has never once retracted a document. Never once. They've never been proven false, or that that wasn't real, or that was never once. And there have been all kind of people that tried, and WikiLeaks has definitely let out some stuff that they didn't want out. Okay, so this whole show with this latest thing lets you know that a lot of these guys, yeah, they do atrocious things. But you'll notice that all the guys that did the most atrocious, they're all dead already. George Bush Sr. gone. A couple others gone, gone, gone. And then really, so we don't know. See, you get in trouble, but and see, I'll get in trouble. No, I won't. I don't think I will. We'll try to have some fun here. First off, keep talking about this. So much to talk about. Okay, I come back. I'm tired of the pundits calling this junk silver. This is precious metal. This is language that we've been given to make you think that this is junk. This is not junk. This is precious metal. This is constitutional silver. I'll take that, but this is not junk silver. It's not junk. This is silver. Okay, there's that. So don't be taking your junk silver to the freaking refiners, because it's not junk. This is precious metal. It's currency, but it's also money as prescribed in the Constitution for the United States of America, not the Constitution of United States. Okay, there's that. Pet peeve. Okay, clearly now, I was gonna make this where it's for the ones that sold us the silver to hang them with, because it's the old story that the capitalists will sell you the rope to hang them with. Okay, they didn't sell rope; they sold silver, and they're still selling silver. Oh, let's look. Let's look. It's been a while. Every time you refresh it, it's different, and there's different prices everywhere. Oh, good. They must have found more silver, because um, it's only 88.93 according to AP Max. But let's go to this other place and see what they have to say about it. Because see, it's a fractured market. The Austrians told you what happens in the fractured market. And yeah, we're in the crack up boom. Yeah, the stock market's going to go crazy because there's so much money pouring in, sloshing around. But that money ain't worth nothing. Okay, so over there in Shanghai, 102.31. Over there in Mumbai, well, I don't know if it's Mumbai, but it says India spot 97.06, and LBMA US spot 88.12, and futures that's gone out of backwardation is now 89.62. But for most of the day, it was futures and US spot were swapped, and it was higher for spot than it was for futures. But in our futures market now, there are people selling silver for less than 89 bucks. Or excuse me, less than 90 bucks. Well, actually, no, it is less than 89 bucks. 88.12 is what it just clicked to. So as I'm looking at 88.21, see, it changes by the second practically. But the idea is that still over there in Shanghai, 102.31, $14 premium, $14.10 premium. What do we got? We got the Indian premium is $8.85. $1 of arbitrage, actually 1 penny of arbitrage, should be more than enough. But oh yeah, and I could share screen. But the idea that a penny should do it. I have friends that told me, yeah, if they're high frequency traders. If you are trading whatever it is, and there's a penny difference, they can make money on that. So $13, $20, are you crazy? The market is broken. They can't get the silver. Now, this same guys up and down, while you guys are all trying to look at Jab Daddy Miracle Ear, there's all these other guys. What? There's all these other guys that are doing heinous things. They're the same guys. If they have no problem doing the things that they do to children, stealing silver is no big deal. And that's what's going on right now. They're stealing silver right underneath our noses. And guys are trying to tell me that, well, yeah, because it got way out of control. Are you kidding? That was going parabolic. But that's what happens when you have scarcity. So, okay, they've staved it off yet more. And I don't think there's going to be a total V-shaped recovery, but it's not going to stay down here at 88 because the rest of the world it's still 100 at least. And now they've made it worse because India and China are backing up the truck. And they don't want paper, they want silver. And once it gets over there, it's gone. Like, they're not going to bring it back. They're not going to hold on to it and vault it and then hopefully sell it for more in March or April or May or something. No. They're going to use it. And now we've got all the trade and so forth where, United States cutting off China, China cutting off United. We got a trade war going on. Pretty soon, hot war. Trade wars always lead to hot wars. But why would China sell us their silver when they need it? And why would they sell the military their silver? And you can tell it's not a joke. They want 500 tons. Nobody wants the price that China doesn't want it high. India doesn't. India loves it down here. In fact, they'd rather it be down at 30, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they rather buy an ounce for 30 instead of trucking what I just say it was? For, wrong tab. 97. They'd much rather be paying 30 than 90. 3 times as much silver for the same money. Nobody wants the price up here. Except there isn't any silver and we all freaking know it. They only have what now? Okay, what they have, see, and I was explaining this to a little child. What they have is this. Okay, they have this. Oh. This is a 10. This is 1. This is 10. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. When I flip it over, this is an OMI 10. This is a negative 10. Okay. Now, here's the thing. We can put it 2 ways. They have this much, but they owe this much. And so they owe this much, and they only have this much. See how that works? Or we could look at it the other way, is that, we'll use this, that, and there's a great story behind why this is flesh colored. But the idea that, okay, so they have to pay out this much. So now we're positive, right? And they only can pay out that much, negative. So they still owe this much. Either way. And then here's the other thing. We have a market that's this size. Do I have one handy? I do have one handy. And we got this much trying to fit into a market this size. This is gonna try and stuff in, because what we have is a $1 trillion market, right? We got trillions sloshing around now. Trillions. They threw trillions at gold. They threw trillions at silver. They're treating it like a penny stock. But the idea is that there are trillions in fiat that even it's now actually not trillions, it's quadrillions. Shall we do it again? Let's see here. Thousands. Oh, wait. Hundreds, thousands. Oh, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions. Okay, if a percentage of quadrillions, which will be trillions, flows into the $1 billion market, we've got to change our scale. This much going to try fit inside this much. No can. This guy get bigger. Just simple as that. If you consider this the metals market, if you consider this the silvers market, whatever, there's trillions of these, or excuse me, there's many of these are going to try and fit into one of these because a trillion into, okay. If you just do simple division, there's no way it can stay down here. And that's just, there's trillions in Federal Reserve notes. There's also trillions of everything else. Rubles and yen and oh my, and yuan and oh, and then we got to talk. See, there's so much going on. You got to cover, you can't hardly cover everything. But the idea that, okay, that's the story I was going to tell. Now I remember. The idea being is that, and I'll write it down so I don't forget this time because I got as far as collegial class. So, the collegial class is the one that set up your Department of Education. Okay, so I interrupt myself again. But the idea that, what the hell was I just talking about? Because see, the way my mind works, I was trying to remember that, and I remember that, and then that thought knocks the other thought out of my head because a squirrel. But the idea that it's trillions and trillions. Okay, so one, this is not junk; it's precious, and this market is only billions, and there's trillions of rubles and yuan, and the yuan. They basically just said, we like to be the reserve currency because you guys, we can't trust you. And everyone's like, well, why should we trust the Chinese? Well, we haven't proven to be quite so untrustworthy as these other guys who are clearly rigging the market right now. This is causing lots of many things, but loss of confidence in the U.S. and our banking. And it's a joke. Everybody knows it's a paper price. And guys trying to say, oh, it's natural. It's not natural. 2 and 2 is not 5. Except Friday. And yeah, it did get out of hand. And yeah, it broke the 45-degree angle and it went way above it. But that was 100% fraud. We're not going to do nothing about that. And apparently we're not going to do anything about the guys. There's the story I'm going to tell finally. That set up the Department of Education so that you could be dumbed down. But really, you're still not going to homeschool? After you find out that, okay, these guys do not share your values. I was going through a thread, and this little boy got in trouble at school because this one child was bullying a little girl. I know this story. My son went through the same. And he was shocked because I think the little girl was a kindergartner and this guy was a second grader, and it's a big difference. And he couldn't believe that this boy would be bullying this little girl. Okay, so anyway, in the story on the internets, the kid went over there and beat out the other kid, beat him up. Stop, right? Okay, and he the one got in trouble. Because they say, oh, yeah, no. Okay, because my son, I had a similar incident, and he got in trouble for the rest of his life while he was in public school for being called a tattletale because instead of beating the kid up, and then later on, he learned how to do that, and then he had to do it that much more because the tattletale kid would get bullied himself. But anyway, he did the quote-unquote right thing that they told him to do, which was go tell a teacher, go get teacher, but now you're a tattletale. Oops. Okay, so what did all the people in the thread say? What should you do about this? Right, he's in trouble. Everybody said take him for ice cream. I think every other comment was take him for ice cream, take him for ice cream. Buy him a dirt bike. Take him out for pizza in a movie. Give him a reward. Be nice to him. Tell him he did a good job. Tell him he did the right thing. In school, they tell the exact opposite because it's satanic pedophiles that set that up, and they don't want the men taking care of the women the way they're supposed to. So they don't share your values, clearly. And yet you still send them there. And now you know that I'm not fucking around when I say they are not like us. They worship the elder gods. They are deists. They are absolutely, positively, fiercely religious. They are so much better at being evil than the Christians are at being good. And they don't fuck around. And they require blood sacrifice. And you just now found out, you can no longer deny it, they require blood sacrifice. Their gods require blood sacrifice. It's required. They can't get away with wine. They can't get away with wine and bread for the sacrament. No. Actual flesh and blood. And we've been saying this, and that's crazy talk, satanic panic. They said the same thing. No, that's like satanic panic was real too. So was Pizzagate, as it turns out. Oh, this video flagged. Nobody gonna see this video because I just used a search term. So up to you to share it or click the link or something, or not click the link, but share the link. But only certain people can watch this because most people are not ready for the information. And it's not crazy talk that there's an original, there's a non-immigrant. They allow for it, but they're not going to tell you that. That's private information. However, if you hit them point blank and you kind of sort of force them, they can't directly lie to you. They can only lie by omission. Oh, so good. It is. It's crack. And I can taste the artificial, whatever the hell it is, in my mouth. But they're so delicious. Like, these are good. And the little kids, all of them said, those are good ones. Those are the best ones. Those are really good. Now, for those of you that homeschool, how much is each cookie worth? I got 15 cookies here for $6. Okay, so I don't know. Can you do 2, 4, 6? Okay, so each one of these rows is $2. Okay, so for $2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cookies that have some artificial flavors in there and a whole bunch of others. I can taste the artificial flavor to enhance the sweetness. The first ingredient is sugar, by the way. Before anything else, there's sugar in this. Okay, so I've got some sugar here. Okay, I'm doing it because I told a little girl that I would when she asked me, because whatever they're selling. Okay, so here's a story. One time, I was at Kahamana Center on Maui, and there's this boy, he's a Boy Scout, and he was selling balloons. And just I had no cash on me. And he was just selling, I can't remember. And he explained to me that he was selling balloons because he was going on a trip and he was trying to earn the money so that he could, right? Okay. I didn't have anything to give him. And I was going to go to the cash machine, which is in Kahamana Center all over. Okay. But anyway, but then I seen him later and he was so deflated because nobody was buying his balloons. Okay, if you see whoever it is, and I felt terrible. Everybody else, I'm sure they didn't feel terrible. They're just like, go away, kid, you bother me. If a child is selling something, you buy something from that child, whatever it is. Okay, it's all of us together, folks. Yeah, we all teach them the lessons. We teach them that if you're selling, this is too much money, in my opinion, because, well, if this is $2 and there's 5 of them, 20 nickels make $1. I didn't hear anybody holler. So this is 40 nickels. Okay, so then that means that each one of these, and that's what I mean, each one of these is 40 nickels. Right? Wait, how many nickels is each one of these? If this is $2 and there's 5 of these, see the math, simple math, right? Just divide 5 into $2. And you're going to find that it's 40 cents. Right? 40, 80, 120, 160, $2. Okay, for the same money. Uh-oh, what did I just do with them? Here they are. I can buy this. What is this? This is 40 nickels. 20 nickels make us $1 right now. So for $2, I can buy 40 nickels. Okay, pretty soon, and there's a silver dime in here. If I took this silver dime to Costco, it's 10 cents. It is not $6, it's 10 cents. If I spend these nickels at Costco, it's a nickel. It's not 7.5 cents or whatever this nickel is worth now. Prices have gone so crazy. But pretty soon it's going to be as silly to sell or to use a nickel as it is to use a silver dime as a dime. You want to use one of those slugs. Dimes, quarters, halves, those are all slugs. This is honest. This is 75% copper, 25% nickel. It's the same as it was back in the day in 1964 when that dime was silver. Our money said that this was supposed to be two, count them, two for one of those silver dimes. Okay, right now I can get rolls and rolls and rolls of this for what you get 7 silver dimes, right? Because for one silver dime, even at this stupid price, it's still more than $6, which means that I should be able to get 3 of these rolls for one dime. Pretty soon it's going to be much more than that because it's going back up. It's not okay. And then pretty soon, like I said, it's going to be stupid to spend a nickel. Use one of the slug dimes. Don't use an actual nickel. Just like telling your kid, don't freaking. I know this one guy. Oh, and here's another story. The blind guy told me that he stole a whole bunch of silver money and then used it to buy candy and cigarettes and other stuff. And yeah, they gave him face value. So 4 silver quarters, they gave him $1 for it. They took advantage of a blind guy. But anyway, but he knew he shouldn't be doing it in the first place. But they should have told him that, no, that's silver, you stupid person. And this was back when silver, it wasn't worth anywhere near what it is now, but it was definitely worth more than 25 cents. Okay, my idea. Take some of your dollars and turn them into these and just save them. And then instruct your offspring. Because I back in the day from an estate sale because they just want to get rid of them. They sold them below what the silver in the dime was worth. And they just want to get rid of them. So I'll take them all. I'll take them all. I'll take all of them. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah. Hell yeah. At that price? You kidding me? And this was back in the day when silver was like, I don't know, less than $10. And he was selling it for like less than $5 when you worked it out. But it was a lot of fucking dimes. Okay, and I don't have them anymore since the boating accident. But no, just kidding. I didn't have a boating accident. I actually cashed them in later in the 20s, way back in the day, and went to go visit a girl in Canada. And I made out like a bandit because I bought them for under $5 and I sold them for over 20. Right? I was selling 5-baggers. Sell all 10-baggers. Some guys say, take all 10-baggers, sell them. You're going to get way more than a 10-bagger in silver. But if you got in at 10 and it went over 100, oops, you couldn't sell unless you knew how to sell on eBay or something like that. Because ain't nobody was buying way up there at anywhere near 110 in United States. Meantime, over across the pond in multiple cities, they were saying that, yeah. And even now, one of the wholesalers is buying it like 101. I don't remember, 104. I don't remember what the price was because it changes by the minute practically. But anyway, the idea is they were buying above our spot, right? Spot plus premium. Meantime, United States, you're going to get spot minus, and sometimes minus a lot, and sometimes they don't even want them. They don't want coin silver. Sometimes they're even saying they don't even want silver bars. They can't. The market is broken. But the idea is, if you want to buy silver right now, and this is the idea, they're trying to psych you out. There's plenty of silver to buy in most of the coin shops that I talk to. Meantime, like I said, across the pond, not the case. They can't get any. We are rich, rich, rich. And the freaking peasants are too stupid to take advantage of this situation. They should have been taking advantage of it when it was under 20 and under 30, which wasn't that long ago. And certainly under 40, which definitely wasn't that long ago, a few months. And now it's double that. I have a neighbor that I was like, get it, just get it. She's like, well, I have Bitcoin and I have some crypto. I'm like, sell your crypto. She's like, that's crazy. I'm like, no, sell your crypto. I'm not giving you financial advice, but I'm telling you, the silver's about to go. So she did some research. She goes, you're right. I think I should get some silver. And I think she got in somewhere in the mid 40s. She already doubled her money. She thinks I'm swell. Yeah, but I told her this is not a trade. This is not a double your money thing and get out. Ooh, well, you could though. Why? Because the inflation hasn't hit yet. In that amount of time, the money has not lost half its value. It's going in the future, it will. But right now, yeah, if you spend that, oh yeah, okay. So spend the profits, not the principal. Keep the principal in silver, and spend the profits. You don't go broke taking profits. And the thing that everybody said, the grandma silver that she gave me in this jar, they never change on Friday, even though the equal sign lied on Friday. Even though we had a 10 sigma event. No, in my book, no such thing. But all right, we'll call it a 10 sigma event. After 6, it's impossible. It can't happen. The chance is so infinitesimally small. But anyway, the idea is this never change. And actually, what happened is there's more of these now, not less. Piece of paper. And there's going to be more of these tomorrow, and there's going to be more of these next month. And at the end of the year, there's going to be more of these, not less than these. So it's going to take more of these to buy less of this. And I don't understand how people can't understand this. How the hell are you missing this? And I can't understand why people, that's crazy. Why would I buy nickels? Because one dime, it's supposed to be 2 of these, not rolls of these. And then find out how much a nickel is worth. Do they make pennies anymore? Find out how much. Just do the math. 75% copper, 25%. And that's each one of these is a lovely 5-gram coin. And see, what they're saying is I need 8 of these 5-gram silver and copper coins to equal one of these cookies. So I am definitely subsidizing a little Girl Scout, but I don't care because I told her I would buy it and I knew it was going to be over, but still. And they are delicious, but they are absolutely, they got crack in them. They got flavor enhancer. I can taste it in my mouth because I never eat stuff like this. A lot of people can't even taste it, don't even notice. And it's less than 2%, which should tell you that even though it's less than 2%, because it says that right on the package, that's all it takes. Just a tiny little bit. And what's that supposed to do? Well, it makes you want to eat more. Right? I've already had 5. That's probably enough. Oh, wait, I've already had 4. That's probably enough. But no, I could eat this whole thing easily. And so could you. And there's stuff in there designed to make you want to. And all of them, by the way, not just these. But apparently these are like the really super duper good ones. And yeah, first ingredient, sugar. Maybe you make your own cookies. Maybe you make your own caramel. And I know what it is. It's caramel flavor. It's not actual caramel. Like caramel is so hard to make. I thought caramel was something difficult. And then my boy showed me that, please. Because I sent them to homeschool, and that was one of the things they learned in chemistry class was how to fool around with sugar and so forth and caramelize and how the different things restructure and so on. So he taught me a thing or two. And they will, if you let them, they'll teach you all kind of stuff. But anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, I was also talking about the fact that China is saying they want to be world reserve currency. And that the United States isn't the trustworthy one, and that somehow they are. Okay. The price of silver is doing nothing but going up. Everybody's saying $200-300. But for right now, where they're cleaning their books and marking to market, and still got crazy plans where they think they're going to be able to keep it down, because nobody want $800 silver, nobody want $1,000 silver, but they can't help it because they print it too much, and they can't help it because trillions are going to find its way into the metals market. Gold can absorb because it's $5,000. Silver are going to have a hard time absorbing at under $100. Just to absorb all the fiat that's coming our way, the price of silver is going to have to go up, up, up. If only a small percentage decide that, I don't want the piece of paper, I want the silver. So again, it's not like everybody's got to demand their silver, just more than 10%, because they were doing fractional reserve silvering banking. And those guys that were doing the fractional reserve banking, yeah, the JP Morgans of the world and all those guys, yeah, clients of C. And like I said, plenty of stories going either way. That, yeah, oh, that's maybe not the intelligence drop because it's just all part of the Fortress America theater. I don't know. I know they haven't talked about Anthony Weiner's laptop. And I know that there's other laptops that apparently have all kind of crazy information on it. And I know there's a whole bunch of emails that got released finally. And in those other emails from WikiLeaks, yeah, everything that's in this drop is pretty much confirmed. Everything we were saying. Okay, so I was going to tell that story and I didn't want to, but you like bacon? Because I like bacon. I love bacon. Bacon's delicious. Okay. You know why they like Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders? Because they're ectomorph and mesomorph stuck together. They have an even layer of fat. They're canoe people. So the ones that got chosen for the canoe voyages and the ones that survived best were not the ones that held their fat around their bellies. The ones that were the best at surviving, women and men, were the ones. And if you look at Hawaiians, right, they'll put a layer of fat over everything, all down to their wrists, all the way down to their ankles. When they get fat, they expand all of them, not just their belly, not just the girl's butt or whatever, or thighs. No, the whole thing. Why? Because that layer of fat keeps you warm. And it gets cold in the ocean, even in the tropics at night, in the wind. Okay, so that layer of fat, yeah. The same reason they like bacon. And not everybody likes it, but some of them specifically like Pacific Islanders. Therefore, many missing in Hawaii. And again, guys, I lived on Maui decades. How the hell you lose 50 children on that island? And then the whole Lahaina thing, I can neither confirm nor deny. I was on the island at the time. I knew a lot of those people. A lot of the stories that came out were complete bullshit, but I can tell you, said the numbers don't add up. And we got more issues than that. But I mean, the numbers don't add up. And on Oahu, 100 kids missing, they admit. Here in this county, 1,000 children missing. And a lot of those children just, the CPS lost. CPS doesn't know where they are. Oh, that's odd. No, it's not odd because they have quotas. Every county has a quota. That's not revealed in the, but you start figuring it out. And if you start doing some, yeah, it's compromised. They have a system of harvesting. And then when you find out who owns the land, there was harvesting going on the North American continent because they consider that chattel property. And part of the chattel property is for their sacrifices and for their dining enjoyment. But you guys can't deny it anymore. There's no denying it. Okay, I'm not gonna quit. Go check out my 5-star passport page. Go check out the Trivium page. There are videos where I do how to visualize large numbers, so you can teach the little ones. If that's 1, and this is a 10, and what I just do with my 100? Oh, it's over there under the cookies. And this is 100, then we can start to visualize. Okay, now I can change my scale, but we can start to see, oh, I have a pattern here. Square, rectangle, square. The next one will be 1,000, and that's going to be a long rectangle, not a cube. And then from there, you can start doing some visualizations, because as soon as you get the cube in there, it's going to start messing things up. Little tip from Uncle there. And then I can talk about paperwork. I'll make another one about paperwork. Oh, wait, I can read. I'll make a whole other video um, where I do the cease and desist thing, and you can look at it. And oh, you can. I'll schedule that. I'll tell you what. On Friday, I will do a video. So around 6ish in Arizona, in the evening time, I'll make another video and we'll go over and watch them at 2 times speed. If you miss it, you don't have to catch it live. But or maybe I'll do it before that. But I think I want to have it out the door before I actually read it. Um, or maybe I want to read it and then make sure, because a lot of times, you get close to it, and then when you read it out loud, you find the errors and where there should be commas, or maybe you did something that wasn't, or you left something out, or the best thing to do is make them short. This is the thing I keep telling my sons. Brevity is the essence. Spend time, take out all unnecessary words, remove any unnecessary paragraphs. Don't tell them or show them how smart you are. Make them show you how smart they are. But make it clear that you know what the hell you're doing, which means that you have to read, you have to watch videos, you have to fact check. Many videos will be close. Some of them will actually wink at you or do other signs, so you know that what they're talking about is not what to do. But it's good information, so right? Like, there are those, like my son found out that, yeah, their training says this, and their training is exactly the same at the passport office as it is at Social Security. Because guess what? We could compare notes, because the questions that I asked him to ask the passport specialist were the same questions that I was talking to a Social Security specialist on Maui at the Social Security office. They do not recognize nationals. They certainly don't recognize American state citizens. And actually, that's a flag right there. And they do not recognize anything other than you're either a U.S. citizen or you're not. That's all they recognize. And they do not issue passports to anything other than nationals. Not all nationals are U.S. citizens, as it turns out. But that doesn't mean they're going to try and tell you that, oh, that's Swains Island and so on. No. Go look at the Styles Manual and go look in case you're confused or incompetent. And that's the thing. Just don't call them liars. Just say that they're incompetent. That they're not competent to know the law, and that you're sui juris, and that you can cite the law to back it up. Like when they try to tell you, oh, it's not a corporation. UCC says it's a corporation. CFR says it's a corporation. USC says it's a corporation. Look, it says it's a corporation right here. There it is. There it is. There it is. And, oh, national is not the same. You can nationalize or naturalize yourself under any means whatsoever. So naturalize yourself under the Constitution of the state that you were born in. And you weren't born in the state of anything. You had to apply. And then it turns out that if you tell them that you know U.S. citizen, and then they try to tell you that you are, there's 18 USC 911. That's a felony. And for me to claim that I'm a U.S. citizen when I clearly know I'm not, before I was ignorant. But now I'm not ignorant, and I'm making sure that you're not ignorant either. And that means that if you continue down this path, you're in violation of 18 USC. Now, ain't nobody going to do nothing. If they don't do anything about them raping children, or you think, not supposed to say it out loud, but this video is shadow banned anyway. But if they don't say anything about that, and they don't do anything about that, are they going to do anything about them not recognizing your rights? Are they going to do anything about prosecuting people that are fraudulent and committing felonies left and right when it comes to trying to trick you into thinking that you somehow are something that you're not? And they do it 100% fraud, right? So you got to go correct the record. See, there's stuff that corrects the record. Like, you're just correcting the record when it comes to, okay, this birth date with this living man, this birth date with an E, this sole proprietorship, this thing so I can do commerce, and you set it up for my benefit and I know it. Further, 18 U.S.C. 8 says all the obligations for that thing are obligations of the United States, even if state citizen. That's why you gave it the number. The number, it says right there, it's not my number. It's not even the allegiance's number. It's associated. It's effectively connected to that number, but it's not the number. I don't own it. He doesn't own it. Even as agent for or representative of, I don't own that. I can make claims on it and use it to discharge and do other things because that's what it was set up for. But they got to know that you are authorized and you cannot do stuff in the future. You can only do stuff that you already paid, and you can set it up every month. Right? Okay. But a lot of guys lead you astray. Oh, quit paying. No, don't quit paying. Keep sending it until such time as they refuse one of your offers in commerce. And your offer, this is the other thing, no mischief in your contracts. And trying to build them or trying to say that, oh, well, since I used 1,000 this month, then that means I'm going to use $1,000 a month for the next 12 months. So let's just do it for 12,000. No. You can't do that because first off, you don't know that next month's going to be 1,000, and you don't know that it might be more or less. So you can only discharge up until the moment. It's now time, not future time, not past time. Okay. I don't even know if this is recording because of that little glitch that we had. But we'll see in a moment, won't we? Plenty of off will go, actually. I have lots to talk about, lots and lots to talk about. But it seems that yeah, there's ever so much more being revealed. I'm going to do a thing where I share screen and we'll talk about the trauma-based mind control that was Challenger, and the trauma-based mind control that was the Miracle Ear Man, and the trauma-based mind control that was Charlie, and the trauma-based mind control that was pretty good. It was pretty good trauma-based mind control in Minnesota, where there just happens to be the place that you put your paperwork in. And see, this is the other thing. Crouton Ramon is a living individual, but I created that. I'm the originator. And they recognize Crouton Ramon, and I paid to get them to recognize Crouton Ramon as a thing. I did not pay them to set up Ben H. Rogers. They did it for me on their own, without my consent, knowledge, nothing. And then they try to confuse me about it. And then they try to make as much money off it as they can. That's fraud. And they don't want you knowing. They don't want you claiming. But so you're going to make them an offer, and you're going to back that offer up with all kinds of evidence. You're not going to have mischief in your contracts and make wild, outlandish claims. And see, here's the other thing. I went GMI utility, and yeah, I was satisfied after going through, because I mean, it was pages and fucking pages under that name and social security number and different ways of doing it, because it's a 9-digit number. So you can go blah, 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 blah. Or you can go blah, 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 all the way to 9, and it's all in a row. Or you can do the first digit with a dash and then 8, and then you can do the first two, which is 98s and 57s and 45s. Anyway, the first two and a dash, and then the other 7. Oh, okay. Hundreds of millions of bonds written on that name and number. Hundreds. I used to be able to look them up. You can't look them up anymore. But when I got to like 200 and I looked at how much more there was, I'm like, yeah, easily $1 billion. Easily. So, I'm going to make the claim it's $1 billion on that name. You guys have traded it like it's worth $1 billion. But you cannot put in a UCC until such time as you have done a whole lot of other stuff. And a lot of places like Illinois won't let small lowercase or anything. Okay, so make a UCC for the all caps name. So who's going to put the UCC on? Oh, Crouton Ramon will, because they won't let me, because my name sounds like the other one, and they won't prove. They pretend that they don't know it's two different things, even though I proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that one was born on one day and one was born on another, so it can't be the same person. So stop it. The one that came first is the one that's going to put the UCC on. In most other states, they don't give you that hard of a time. But what are you doing? You're getting first in line, and you're letting them know that you're first in line. And you're letting them know that, oh, you're not an decedent. I did that on accident way, way back in the day to the IRS. And by the way, the IRS is the one that sets you free. Get to know the guys at the IRS. My boys had especially my younger boy, had some very interesting conversations with those guys. And yeah, they'll help you. But you got to get their help in a way that they can understand. And if you use certain words, they've been trained. Oh, this is one of them sovereign citizens. He's had straw man. Oh, this is one of them sovereign citizens. He thinks that HJR 192 means that he doesn't have to pay taxes. No. And this is the other thing. Oh man, I'm already seeing they're pedophiles. We're not paying our taxes. That's no reason not to pay your tax. Sorry. But yeah, you're gonna have to start paying your taxes to pedophiles here in just a little bit, aren't you? Okay, if you filed last year, you better file this year, or you better give them a really good reason why you're not, because they're gonna expect you to, because you've been filing. And if you've been filing for years and years and years, a lot of the thing and it's not gonna work for you until such time as you've done a lot of extra paperwork because you got to let them know, oh, this has all been a mistake. Or you were volunteering and you choose not to volunteer and you're going to make some claims and you're going to have to do 3-step process where you let them know you're non-decedent, you let them know that a lot of different things. And that the tax doesn't apply, and here's why, and that you're not in DC, and that you use the zip code because of expediency and because you're kind of under duress. You can't not use the zip code for the most part unless you really know what you're doing. And I have now figured out how to do that, thanks to my boy having a 5-star passport, because the whole thing is different. I told you they split the world into 2 different things. There's the post office, and then there's the mail. Not same. You want to use post. They want you to use mail. Post is cheaper than mail. Oh, and speaking of that, I got those show and tell products out. See, because you're your own postmaster, I got this roll of stamps for, I remember getting them because they were going to raise this thing up to 50 cents. So I got them for less than 50 cents. And now try to go see how much one of this stamp, if you put an envelope, you need, right? But this is a forever stamp, so it's still good. Because I remember when you could put a 22-cent stamp on it, you can't put a 22-cent stamp on there because it won't go there for 22 cents. Because they're not considering that silver dimes. They're considering those Federal Reserve notes. So the slugs, and the slugs are only 22 cents and won't do it. Because, Brad, if it was 2 silver dimes and 2 copper pennies, that's more than $12 in FRNs. That's more than enough to get an envelope from one place to another. Okay, but it's not silver, clearly. Okay, so this right here saved me a ton of money every time I mail an envelope. And I got a couple of rolls of these. Okay, and then I had to talk to a postmaster, an actual postmaster from the United States Post Office. See, because I'm postmaster for a private organization. I'm postmaster for like one. They're postmaster for like everybody. Anyway, when you use these, there's cost, and you can use these to pay this cost if you want, or you can just use FRNs, but they won't take silver. You'll have to turn your silver into FRNs first, and then you can go to the post office. Okay, bullshit, and we need to change that. We should be able to take silver, but we don't know how much the silver is worth. Anyway. This number right here, kind of important. And when you send it, you get their attention when you send this, I assure you. And it was great because the post office was trying to tell them, oh, we lost it. We lost your mail. I'm like, how the fuck you losing registered mail? Who was the last person that had it? I need his name and identifying number. Boom. Oh, lucky. Oh, it turns out it was delivered after all. Okay, they're not going to be they're not on your team to set you free, guys. They want you in a position where they can extract as much wealth from you, abuse you however they want. They don't want you claiming any kind of anything. They want you ignorant. And then if you make the claims, you have to be able to support those claims. You have to know your shit, and you're going to support it with statute. Because telling them that you're not dead isn't good enough. I can tell you a story from when I was a small kid time. My next door neighbor got a letter from the Social Security Administration that he was dead. And he's like, I'm not, what? And he was 8th grade education, old Portuguese man. And he just thought it was funny as hell, except for the part that he wasn't getting his benefits. Anyway, he went down to the Social Security office and was like, I'm not dead. And see, okay, this is old school way. He never let go, Wailuku. Why I gotta go, Wailuku? And Wailuku is like right there, not even 15 minutes. But why the fuck I gotta Wailuku to the office when I know I'm not dead? But they basically just said to show up in person with some kind of ID and let them know you're not dead. And we'll do the paperwork to say that there was some kind of mistake or something. Okay, I don't know what happened in that computer. Anyway, they fixed it. I remember that. But I remember that from being a small kid. I was like probably 10 at the time. And we were all laughing about it. I had no idea. Okay. There's a story. Oh gosh, looking at these, I want to see. On the one hand, they're so delicious, but on the other hand, I have that taste in my mouth, and it prevents me from wanting that much more because I don't like that taste in my mouth. But there's this book right here. There are stories in here that talk about, first off, Americans. This is more of a people and not so much of a place, because Americans are all over the place. North American continent. It's a people. It's not a place. America isn't a place. Okay. Secondly, there's stories in here that tell you that you kind of got to get rid of the straw man. And yes, the guy died for our sins, but he didn't die for our sins the way that what he did was he paid the price. If you're a Christian, he paid all your debts. Your debts have been paid. Okay, that's the parable. But then you got to know how to enforce that. You can't just say, well, Christ paid all my debts for me. Put that on paper. Let's see how that works out for you. He's not going to work out too well. I can almost guarantee it. And again, you just decide, they're fucking satanic pedophiles, so I'm not paying them tax. No, you're not paying them tax because you don't owe the tax, and you need to figure out why you don't owe the tax and where it says you don't owe the tax. And then you got to use some logic and reasoning, and then you got to know what the words mean. And then you got to inform people that, yeah, it turns out you were paying taxes voluntarily or by mistake or under duress. And now, and based on fraud, ignorance, omission, misrepresentation, lack of information, misinformation, incompetence, mistake. But you weren't up and up, and it wasn't a contract that you understand, and you didn't really have a contract with them if you don't understand the contract. And if you didn't know there was a whole bunch of stuff in there that made it so that you didn't have any rights once you signed certain documents. And if you can tell them that you would never have waived these rights, and you can delineate some of them that aren't even in the Constitution because they're supposed to be self-evident, and you know the difference between tangible and intangible rights. And again, we're the crazy ones. We are the crazy ones. They fucking hate us around the world. Fucking Americans think that God gives them rights. No. You're supposed to get rights from our piece of paper. You're supposed to get rights from our king. No, you're supposed to get rights from the emperor. You're supposed to get rights from the state. No. Sorry, my rights come from God. Oh, and I got to tell this story. Speaking of the Caligula class, okay, and I have asked for forgiveness numerous times, and I'm not done yet. But what is the difference between me paying a man in a white coat, and I knew it was wrong at the time, by the way. I'm 100% pro-abortion, but I've never always counseled, even when we were kids, when in high school. See, here's the thing. I'm one of those guys, people talk to me. Women talk to me. Everybody talks to me and tell me things I don't want to hear. This has always been the case since high school. So certain girls, and I'm not going to name any names, what am I going to do? I'm pregnant. Not my baby. But they're just telling me, fuck, right? They need somebody to talk to because in that school that, oh my God, being pregnant as a teenager, oh my God. Well, first off, this is way the fuck back in the 70s and really early 80s. Girls aren't supposed to be even having sex. It wasn't until Madonna that we even knew that girls like sex. So you had to be a super naughty girl. And it's Episcopalian school on top of everything. So that is fucking not sanctioned. They're going to be in more trouble. There's so much trouble, right? Okay. So they're going to have the baby or they're going to kill the baby. I always don't kill the baby. Okay. But then it's like, you got to pay for the abortion because, the baby would Anyway, what's the difference between paying for an abortion to paying some guy in a white lab coat to go kill a baby? What's the difference between paying a hitman to kill an adult? What's the difference? Okay, that killing an adult is not healthcare. Although Canada will try to tell you that it is. Oh my God, these fuckers have legalized killing your own babies. Murder's still illegal, but in certain circumstances, apparently not even that, because they're trying to get you to say, well, she's a bitch, fucking liberal white bitch. That's one of the most disturbing things in recent times, because what I expected to see and what I saw after hearing Trump's tweets and hearing others talk about it, I expected to see one thing and I saw another, and so did everybody else I talked to. So that seems to be that whole thing with the Orwellian, the state wants you to believe what they tell you, not what you see with your own eyes and ears. And then they did it again, where I expected to see one thing, and then what I saw that's not what I saw. I saw an unarmed man with a whole bunch of guys. He could be no threat with that many guys, and they shot him dead, supposedly, if it's not theater, it's not crisis acting. Pretty good story, man. Pretty good story. Cool story, bro. I don't know. Looks like theater to me, though. Looks like scripted events. Looks like events designed to try to take control of your mind. Looks like more trauma-based mind control to me, and to see who's who and what's what. Whose team you on? Pick a side. And on either team. I'm one of them crazy ones that says, nah, you guys go be federal, U.S. citizen, whatever you like. I'm not one of them. Because their interests are not my interests. Even in the schools, you can tell. They try to instill values in your sons and daughters that you do not share. So why are you putting them in front of them? And now you know that these people are deists. And their job is to keep you as ignorant as possible so they can extract as much wealth from you as possible. And if they can turn you from the Jesus, if they can turn you from the Christ, if they can turn you from whoever it is that's good, Buddha, because I was going to tell a story. There's some stuff that I learned from the Buddha that I didn't get from the Christian Bible about how to be and how to deal and how to forgive and how to stuff. Okay, because the knowledge is spread throughout. It's not just in one place. And then you realize that this same guys, yeah, that's the ones that gave you that Bible. So they didn't write it to set you free. They wrote it to enslave. And there are guys saying, well, the real Bible's under the Vatican. That may be true. And there are also other books that you can get your hands on. But right, the difference between right and wrong is not hard. Does it harm children? Okay, wrong. Does it nurture children? Okay, right. What's hard? Left, right. What's hard? And these people are harming children in ways that, oh my God. Okay, clearly left-hand path. You're not supposed to stand around. The Christ didn't just go, oh, I think I'm going to sign one petition outside the temple. Hey, you guys like sign one petition? There's the money changing inside here. Sign this petition. That's not how I handled it. But that's how they want you to handle it. And see, right after that, boom, what happened to him? Crucifixion. Okay, I gotta make a video about this other thing. And I think you will find it enjoyable. But Cruton Ramon's House of Math, get over there for 5-star passports and Trivium. And also other stuff. And you'll see I got a sale going on for a little while longer. And it looks like I'm not going to sell all of them because the thing didn't keep going, because for a little while there, it was looking like those dimes were going to be worth more than $20 before New Year's. Still could be the case by March or summer. But anyway, Cruton Ramon's House of Math for that. This is 100 Monkey, a wizard who's known by many names. Signing off. E pluribus unum. You got to educate yourself so that you can educate others. And in fact, when you listen to some stuff, think about not just for yourself, but how would you explain this to somebody else? And sometimes you might have to listen to it 2-3 times so you can, oh, okay, that's how I explain it. See, my sons have a rap down well because while they were traveling, they ran into many others with passports that did not have a 5-star passport, and they were eager to tell them about it. All right, Crouton Ramon, like I said, but 100th monkey out. E pluribus unum. Educate self, educate others, and we'll talk to you soon.